The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome to Draft Day. Are you guys pumped? Are you excited? Look out on the plaza. Look at it. They're putting out the picnic tables. I hope it doesn't rain because it's 71 degrees and cloudy. The high today is 76. The low tonight, 69 degrees.
Let's get freaky. That is Kurt. He is Shannon. That's Chris, who has a very, very, very
long
weekend. I am Zaddy Holly. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us when we speak.
Yes. Brought to
This
you.
segment is brought to you.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go.
Nah,
Go.
you got it. I'm
No,
sorry.
you got it.
I'm on your toes.
No, go ahead.
I'm in your business. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Stay in it.
It's brought to you by Wingstop.
There we go.
The flavor gets his wing.
There you go. There you go. How you fellas feeling? We are the official draft day kickoff show.
What does that mean?
That means not much because we don't know a whole lot about the draft.
This is the one show, not honestly, like if we're being completely honest.
And that's what we do here. You don't want to listen to it here?
Don't want to listen to the show. I'm just if you woke up this morning like we say football horny here. If you woke up draft horny here this morning and you thought, man, I'm tuning in all day long to DallasCowboys.com and Hanging with the Boys are going to kick this thing off for absolutely amazing draft coverage.
No.
They're going to give me the insight and let me know about insider deals. No.
No. This is now once the draft picks are drafted,
There we go.
and they get into camp. Oh, now I'm cooking. Now I can go in. I can start putting things together. I'm cooking.
You got to
in.
have them in the building first.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you ever pay much when you were playing? Did you ever pay much attention to the draft? What was going on?
No. Like, yes and no. Like I've told the story about when the Cowboys drafted Des Bryant.
Oh,
Right? Like I was in Mexico and I was like, oh, there's my job. Because you just every time you start looking at guys get drafted, you just think about, boy, that roster starts pushing down. If you're at the, it's just like business is business. They start pushing down. I mean, you follow it just out of the sheer just excitement for the draft, but you hear like Broadus and Nick Harris and Kyle Yeomans and Aisha Morris and they're watching hundreds of
yeah, I get into it.
like I'm sorry, like nothing against those people.
No, I'm glad there's somebody on that wall.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
because we need
That's me.
It's like the Night's Watch. We need them on that wall. Am I going to go on top of that wall? No. I am not sacrificing my life and my family. But I mean, it's and they do it, man. They do such a good job.
They do.
Like, I mean, I know there's people that get paid on national platforms to do that, and that's what they do year round. But I mean, this is not just because of I see what they do and I know the work they do. Like, they're on that level. Like, they put that kind of time and that work into the national. You hear the big names like Kuiper, McShay, all that stuff. These guys put the work in.
It's worth checking out when they'll be doing their draft show through the whole draft.
Yeah,
starting night all day Friday night all day Saturday.
And not only
it's worth checking out. They know especially when you win the Cowboys angle.
Right. And not only do you talk about just the names that we know or the names that the commoners know, but like they're traveling to the Senior Bowls. They're going to the what was the Shrine Bowl here? What was it?
East West
Shrine was here. They're there.
Yeah.
Pro days,
combine. I mean, like
Broadus is working the phones on all the GMs and personnel people.
And I got to give a shout out to Brian Broadus. That's my dude. I got to give a shout out to Brian Broadus because he is, I would say, in the DFW area, like he's the grandfather of scouting. I remember way back when the Cowboys was in Valley Ranch. Like, he was the guy who was bringing guys in and really showing the younger guys. This is before social media got big and YouTube got big, and now everybody has access, which I sometimes don't like. Yeah. Just everybody can put out all this different stuff. But Broadus was one of the guys who, I remember, like, his first two pupils were guys like Jeff Kavanaugh and Kevin Turner. He was bringing those guys in and sneaking them into Valley Ranch, and they were, like, watching the breakdowns, and he was kind of giving those guys the one-on-one of how do you scout a guy? What does it look like? What is stacking a board? What does all those things mean? And that birthed this new generation of guys like Kyle Yeomans, like Nick Harris, like the Aisha Morrises of the world, like the Dane Bruglers, and all the ones that we see now, and it's all over, and there's a bunch of other guys like Voss Lombardi and Okoye Media. Like, there's a bunch of other guys who are out there doing it, who I think have some really good content, but no better content than what you get as far as cowboy centric,
right?
Than
so they're from the
here,
the Brian Broadus draft tree.
Yeah. His tree's pretty dope.
Yeah,
his tree's pretty dope.
And
that's pretty dope.
That's. So I was talking about on a national level, they know these guys, right? They get. Chris, you can speak to this. They get pissed if somebody gets drafted that they don't talk about, right? Like, if you guys don't have somebody
100%.
loaded up, like that
They don't
just
have a scouting report
that
on
destroys them, doesn't it? And they usually only miss maybe 1, 2 a year, maybe 3.
Yeah, I think Dane Brugler missed like 1 last year in his magazine, and that was like he has like over like 1,100 guys.
And it just destroyed him. Like, all the work he put in, he was like,
I missed that guy.
I don't know, man, come on, how did I miss?
I mean, like, I was looking at Dane's top 300, okay? And I'm missing two guys. One guy I'm trying to get like video of, okay? The last guy, number 300 on his list, okay? Beran Matos. You want to take a guess what college he went to?
No.
Beran Matos. I'm going to say a West Coast college.
I would say this is Deep South.
ULM.
Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow. Deep South.
Deep South.
Like Deep South.
That's Deep South.
Yeah. So
I didn't even find a guy.
I don't know where I'm going to find B-roll of this guy,
good
but
luck.
he's 300. So
Good luck.
But I did get. I find the guy. He had another guy, Giovanni Manu from British Columbia. I did get his film. So.
Oh, you know what? Oddly enough, I've heard that name. Like, I've heard.
Yeah.
This is I've not.
He's number 296 in his top 300. So
Wow.
This is the guy. He's like his measurables are like really good, right?
yeah, but he played in basically
Canadian,
Canada.
yeah.
And it was Canadian rules. I'm watching this, and like, you know how like when you're watching film and you know who the dude is, because like he's like 3 times bigger than everybody else on the offensive line, right? Like sometimes you have to look him up. Okay, which guy I need to circle and that kind of stuff. I'm like, nope, that's the guy right
the
there.
guy. Yeah,
Right? Because like the tight end looks like he's a little running back next to him. It's
Like
pretty
Shannon.
funny.
Yeah, little guy. Yeah, probably.
It'd be like Shannon lining up next to Nate.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay.
I mean, really. I'll show you the B-roll. It's hilarious.
By the way, hopefully Nate. Shout out to Nate. Hopefully he's recovered. He's recovering well. He said rehab's going good. I sent him a text last night, and he said he hopes to be back in the studio soon. So hopefully we get him in here. I miss Nate. Miss old Nate. And by the way, and so this is the last time I will stroke the draft show's ego, except for Chris, because Chris, we feel for you because it's going to be you're going to be stuck in a room with no windows for the next 3 days.
My wife this morning goes, well, see you tomorrow. That's exactly what she told me.
But as far as, like, they know the national guys, I think, on a level that your national people do. But as far as, like, Cowboys draft coverage and what they need, what they want, who fits, there's nothing better if you're a Cowboys fan than to listen to that all weekend long, because they know everything in every angle. So, all right, enough about them. Let's talk about our show, because we're all about us on this show, right? Kurt,
The me show.
you don't even have to say a name, but what position do you think they'll draft? And what position do you want them to draft in the first round
I want them
at
to-
24? Or do you want them to trade up or trade back?
I definitely want them to trade back.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think there's going to be enough guys available
Okay.
at 24 that they can drop back. They need picks.
Yeah.
They
How far back do you want them to drop?
Well, not far. Late first, early second. I don't want them to drop very far back. But
So
I think
5 to 10 picks back?
Yeah, well, maybe not 10, more like 3 to 5 or something.
3 to
like
5,
that.
okay.
Not very far, but I think there'll be enough guys at 24 available that they can move back and still get guys that can help them immediately. And hopefully pick up some picks that will also help them immediately. So
What position do you want them to draft, and what position do you think they're gonna draft?
I would like them to draft a center.
Okay.
I think that's their biggest need right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good tackles, so I kind of wonder if they're going to lean that way.
All right.
So,
But
which
you-
wouldn't be bad either. I mean, they obviously need some help up there too.
Anyone on the offensive line, I think, is not a
Yeah.
bad pick as
Yeah.
long as it's a good prospect.
Exactly.
Jesse, that's you.
Receiver. No. No, it has to be offensive line. Like at this point in time. And this may be part of the reason that sometimes people get a little bit upset with the Cowboys. Sometimes it's the fault of their own. Sometimes it's not a fault of your own. But when you go into this draft and there's such a glaring need, and everybody around you knows that. The guys that are picking behind you, the guys that are picking in front of you. And a lot of times you talk about, hey, let's trade back, and there got to be they got to be two willing to tango in this type of scenario. There has to be a team that's behind you that is saying, hey, we want to jump up and grab a guy. So, and then it has to be, well, what are you willing to give us? Because if your second round pick or whatever we're looking at is in the latter part of the second round,
Yeah.
then that's basically like I'm getting a third rounder. Right. So I need a guy like, I think the Patriots pick up close. I need teams like that who are picking early in the second round that say, okay, yeah, we'll move back, like you were saying, 5 or 6 or 7 picks. But like if you're talking about me moving back 20 picks, we're now talking about we're flirting with, because anytime you start dealing with guys at the tail end of that round, then that guy could easily be the beginning of the next round. So if you're talking tail end of the second, that means that guy could possibly have a third round grade on him. Yeah. And then now the quality goes down. Of course, it's offensive lineman, whether it be tackle or guard or center. I think I agree with Kurt a little bit on this as far as getting a center. When I look at the way that this offense is set and your quarterback is set, when Dak is able to be comfortable and clean pocket in front of him, he's a much better quarterback. When he's able to drive the football down the field and the pressure isn't, coming in those A and B gaps and center is getting pushed back into his lap and he's able to step into his throw because not knocking him, but he doesn't have the supreme arm talent of a Josh Allen, a Patrick Mahomes, you name it, Jordan Love, you name the quarterback that has the supreme arm talent where it doesn't matter the platform in which they throw from, the ball is going to get there accurately, efficiently. It's going to pop out of their hands.
His mechanics have to be good.
He's a guy who has to have the mechanic. I got to be upright. I want to step in through it. I want to drive the ball. Now, he can make some, off-kilter throws, but overall,
he's not flicking it with his wrist like Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
And it's going 40 yards. No. So I think the center would be best because it's much easier to help on the outsides. I got backs chipping for tackle purposes. I got backs chipping. I got tight ends we can line them out there. And this is a deep draft offensive line wise, so you can't go wrong with either tackle or guard or center. But I do think getting a center would help fortify this offensive line a little bit better. But that's always the tricky part because if it doesn't hit, and that's the part where you don't want to kind of, in these type of positions, and that's what makes offensive line difficult. There's so few of them, like, overall. You know what I mean? Like, there's, like, offensive linemen, whether the draft is big on them or not, it's just a position where there in the world itself, there just aren't a bunch of 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 320, 300, 5 pound, 290 pound human beings just athletically enough to play in this league, just walking around outside, right? Like you can find more 5'10", 5'11" guys that play receiver or play running back or DB or whatever than you can find offensive linemen. So it's even more of a premium that these guys kind of really, really, really have to hit because there aren't many of them. So you can't, even if it misses, you can't just go and kind of replace it elsewhere because the sheer fact of that human being is not on the earth as readily available as other guys, other size human beings.
Kind of like a defensive tackle. There's only a handful of them that are built the way to play that position, and then even fewer that are physically talented enough to do it. Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they got so many needs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at a linebacker, although I think they should probably go offensive line just because, and I think to me, the decisions they made in the offseason point in that direction. Like
all in, baby.
We're
all in, baby.
We're letting these guys go, right?
Yeah.
So I think you almost have to address it in the first round. I wouldn't be mad at defensive line. I wouldn't.
Right.
I don't think you're going to go defensive tackle 2 years in a row because then you're admitting that last year was a failure and you're moving in a different direction. So I don't think
lost some guys. You definitely need a guy.
Yeah, you need a guy, but I don't think they're going to make that move. Defensive end, I think you're okay, but I wouldn't be if a badass falls. I wouldn't be mad. Only thing I would just be like, what are you doing? Is probably receiver, running back in the first round. I mean, I don't
definitely not that. Yeah.
But
there's
think you're good at safety.
There could be some receivers and cornerbacks sitting there that might
could.
rate higher on their board. I don't know.
But I think. And they get in trouble when they reach. That's the one thing.
They did that last year.
That's the one thing when they start plugging for need instead of best player on the board. So if a badass receiver or cornerback falls to you and you got him graded at a top 10 guy and he falls down to you and I don't know, but I do know this. Like I think they're going to go offensive line, and everybody's talking about what's the guy's name, Graham.
Barton,
from Duke. They can play. Jesse doesn't like that. That can, I think they would slot him as a center, but he can play. We were talking about this earlier with Chris in here before the show. He can play 3 positions, right? But I don't.
Jack of all trades, master.
But I think they can't miss this year. I think this year more than any other draft since I have been here in 20 years. Like there's more pressure on this draft because last year so far they say give 3 years before you figure it out, and you had some injuries and things like that, but you can't have a draft this year like you had last year.
They got to find 4 starters.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
In most drafts, like from top to bottom, you try to find 3 or 4 starters. The Cowboys must find.
And usually you're only getting 1 or 2.
Right, they must find
because if you don't
4 starters,
if you don't
in this draft,
then that basically sets you back a year, right? Because
3 years probably.
Yeah, because you missed.
Because there'll be a new need that comes about
right. That you got to address next year.
That you got to address next year. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I want to tease this, and maybe when we answer it on the other side of this break. Jerry Jones, the Cowboys, right? Their draft day room. You see Jerry and Steven at the head of the table. Mm-hmm. You see Will McClay in there, but you see their coaches are in there, right? And historically, Jerry has been one. While we point a lot of fingers at saying Jerry is kind of running the show, I think a part of the reason sometimes Jerry goes wrong because he listens to a lot of people in the organization and outside the organization. Mm-hmm. With the coaching staff, the way that it's currently constructed, your head coach / offensive coordinator is on a last year of his deal with no future looking like, he's going to get signed right now. And your defensive coordinator, Zimmer, who is on a 1-year basically deal. These are the guys who are now giving input in this draft. Are they looking to build future needs
Or right now.
Or right now.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that on the other side of this break.
Let's do that. It's called a tease.
Yeah.
We don't do that very often. We're not good at teasing. We just like to give it to you.
At least not with the show.
Yeah. We'll be right back. Second segment, Hanging with the Boys, the official draft day kickoff show of the Dallas Cowboys.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back, Hanging with the Boys, the official draft day kickoff show of the Dallas Cowboys. Second segment brought to you each and every day by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com. All right, we got a couple of fun things. We'll get to Jesse's point in just a minute. He teased it in the last segment. But Chris had a great game that we're going to play, and we're just going to butcher this. And I am.
You are right now.
So,
already
Chris, tell them what we're doing.
Okay, you guys were talking about the Cowboys' needs in the first round. Everybody knows that they need an offensive lineman.
Yep.
Okay, so I went on NFL.com and I looked at every team in the NFL's needs. Okay. Of the 32 teams, 28 of them need an offensive lineman.
So I'm not good at math, but that means there's four that
does not, according to NFL.com, do not need an offensive lineman in this draft.
So we're going to guess live
Say,
on the
can
show.
you name the four?
Wow.
I'm going to go with no. I'm going to be happy if I get one. I'll go first because I don't really know a whole lot about.
I thought we were just throwing names. I don't even have four.
I'm going to go Philly, Miami, KC, and New England.
None of those.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Miami needs a center because they lost their center.
So does
that's
Philly.
an offensive lineman. So does Philly.
I thought maybe they had a guy ready to go. Though.
No, they don't.
49ers in there?
Kurt, that's not how you play the game.
Oh, we got a okay.
Give me four.
Give him four. 49ers.
Four.
Kurt's going 49ers.
49ers.
Just pick four teams, Kurt. It's not that hard.
Jets.
Okay.
Browns.
Okay.
And
I like your picks a lot better than mine.
Packers.
All right, Kurt got one. The Jets.
All right, so Jets are off the board.
Jets are
So now
off the
just three
board.
teams.
So there's three teams. There you go.
Okay.
But you have fewer to pick from. So odds are
I know, right?
Odds are your favorite.
I'm going to go with Detroit.
Okay, that's a good one.
I'm going to go with Seattle.
That's interesting.
And I'm going to go with Houston.
Ooh.
Okay.
None of those.
Oh, terrible.
According to NFL.com, the four teams that do not need an offensive lineman in this draft would be the Atlanta Falcons, the Jets, the Giants, and the Buffalo Bills. According to NFL.com.
Atlanta surprises me.
Yeah.
Other ones I can see that. That's good. Okay.
That was good.
Good game, Chris. I like that.
That was
Game.
good. That was good.
That was
That
a good
was
game.
good.
And Chris has a Waffle House challenge question that we'll do next segment. You'll want to stay tuned for that because it's very interesting.
That's like one of the times that Nate would lose on purpose. Sure.
Yeah.
I'll be in the Waffle House.
It would be.
I'll be there an hour.
I'll be there. It's like, out in 2 hours.
I need to eat 23 of these things. Not a problem.
Gotcha. Where are the French fries?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jesse, your tease was coming into the second or coming out of the first segment.
Yes, coming out of the first segment, we talked about the Cowboys draft needs. Jerry Jones, yes, we know he sits at the height of the table, he and Steven, but around that table, it's Will McClay, it's other scouts, but it's coaches as well. And you look at the draft needs, and you're thinking about, I'm trying to find a guy for the next 10 years, for the next 5 to 10 years. Well, the coaches right now, as they sit, head coach and offensive coordinator Mike McCarthy, he's on the last year of his deal. Who, by the way, just hired a new agent. Yee, was it Don Yee? Is his new agent?
Yes.
Yeah, Don Yee's his new agent.
Very strategic move.
Very strategic move. Don Yee has some heavy hitters.
Interesting time.
Harbaugh is one of his clients.
Interesting
Yeah,
timing.
so he just hired a new agent. It's money season for everybody. And then you have Mike Zimmer, who just signed on here recently, and for all of what that is, he's tied to the head coach. So essentially, they're both on 1-year deals. Are they looking to draft, and maybe this is an oxymoron question, but are they looking to draft and say, hey, yeah, we're going to draft this guy now, but maybe he needs a year or two before he really blossoms in his full potential? Or are they saying, we got to go right now? Like, I'm pushing for guys that I know that can go right now because our jobs are on the line. And how does that play into the hands of Steven, Jerry, and Will? Because those guys are going to be here for the long haul.
Yeah.
So are they pushing out guys saying, you know what? This guy right here may not be a day one starter, but he has the potential to be, but needs a little work. Right? Like you see, like the yin and the yang of, are we looking to build for the future, or do we need more of a right now need? And that goes back to that reaching component of.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting because I don't know if there's ever been a time. I say that all the time about this season, but it seems like there's so many things that are in disarray around here right now, and this is one of them because that's a great point. Like, you got coaches that want to win now, but they might not be here in a year, right? That's a great.
And how does that factor into whoever my next head coach is?
Right.
My next DC
may not like these kind of guys.
Does these guys fit into what they do?
Because you're seeing a trend more and more around the league, offensive and defensive side of the ball, where you hire the coordinator or you hire the coach, and they build out the type of, like Dan Quinn wanted, a certain type of guy, right? And they've even come out and said that these certain players didn't really fit with what they did, which kind of goes with what you say. Sometimes who's building the team? Right. Is it the coaching staff or is it the front office, right? And so you see that a lot with quarterbacks now. You hire the coach and then let the coach, you got a franchise quarterback. You hire the coach. Sometimes it doesn't save the quarterback's job anymore.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I want to bring this guy in. That's this franchise guy's gone. So that's a great question as to who's building the team and how much input do outside sources have in this.
I think and I hope that they're not just building for next year, that they have to look beyond. As general manager, as Will McClay in his role as the personnel director, they have to be looking beyond just this next year.
I mean, you get with the way that they're handling the offseason, you would hope that that's what they're looking at. Like, because if they were building just for next year, you would have spent a lot more money in the offseason, right?
I read an interesting story, I think it was on The Athletic, about how we always kind of feel like you get this impression that, we're all on board with this player. We're so glad we picked him. Everybody in the room love this guy. But the reality is there's a lot of agendas in that room.
Yeah.
Every coach has their guy. Scouts are jumping on the table for the guy they've put effort into. It's definitely
wonder
it's a battleground. And it is a war room for a reason.
I wonder if they get pissed. I'm sure they get emotional when they're making a case for their guy, but I wonder if they like get pissed and hold grudges against people for like you know that I wanted this guy, and you know like the work that I put in, and you know your guy wasn't as good as this guy, and you went in there and you did this anyway.
No, if you listen to Broader tell it, like they're like he tells a story. If you go to On the Filter with Jesse Holly on YouTube, I interviewed him like 2-3 weeks ago, and he tells a story where he was in the war room, and they were like, those guys be like, I told you so. Like that moment, like they didn't get their guy. In a year or two, they go, I told you so. I told you. Like, I didn't want that guy. You wanted that guy. And look at him now. Like, they have those type of conversations. So, like, it is, to Kurt's point, it is an absolute war room in there because there are guys who, because think about it. If you've been designated to a certain area to scout a guy and you spent time, energy, and effort in this guy, you're like,
months and you're away from your family.
This is my guy. This is the guy. And you're like, well,
my defensive line coach is coming in and asking, "Oh, I need this type of player." Well, it's got to piss the guys off.
I mean, there is definitely some contentious, some very tense conversations that happen in that war room, and then guys walk out. Either there are two modes. Like, and I think I'm gonna be looking for this in the war room footage because there's an excitement, right? We put our draft pick in, we get them, right? But there's sometimes it's like that. And there's other guys that are like, what I mean? Like, we're happy for the team. Say who the hell I want.
The camera's on, clap, smile.
Yeah.
Like, pat Jerry on the back.
Good job, guys. We're high-fiving. And you can tell, like, there's one side of the room is like, let's go. And there's okay. Yeah. We'll see how this works out.
Half the room's lighting cigars. The other half's like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Sipping on bourbon.
Yeah, you can't. There's some guys right now in the scouting department, in the coaching hallway, that are looking at like, told y'all I should have never went with Myles Smith. Yeah. Told y'all. Yeah. I told y'all. We should have went with.
Listen to Dan Quinn, your coach, instead of the guys who've been watching film all year.
I told you. We should have went linebacker. We should have went, You can't tell. I told those guys, Boss Man Fat. I told those guys. I told them, don't go to that. Go to this guy. There are guys that are saying that right now about certain guys.
Yep. All right, guys, let's take our last break. When we come back, Chris is going to let us know what the Waffle House Challenge is and what has to happen for that to come to fruition. And we'll wrap up the official kickoff show of Dallas Cowboys Draft Day on Hanging with the Boys.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
James Wright here, your 2022 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year. You know how much I love my Cowboys, and I am thrilled to be talking to you about the 2023 Fan of the Year award presented by Captain Morgan. We're looking for the ultimate Cowboys fan to spice up the game. That means you eat, sleep, and breathe the Dallas Cowboys. If that's you, or if you know someone like me, then go to DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year, and you could win tickets to Super Bowl 58 and so much more. Enter today.
Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by Jigsaw, the proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Chris, you got me that free membership
you
yet?
signed up yet?
I'm waiting on Chris to get me that free membership.
Forget the membership.
Actually, I did reach out to somebody about that. Actually,
Okay, good.
So we're working on that.
They're like, we don't want his kind on our app.
No. Actually, I sent it to Nikki and said, "Hey, who's the person on it? The person who started on it left, and now they have someone else." So
Oh, okay.
we're working on getting you a.
Let's go. We'll do some live experimentation on the show.
Maybe get a girl to call in.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we could screen them over the air.
First date revisit. There we go.
There you go. That'd be
Big
fun.
news for you though. Tomorrow.
Yeah, big day.
Yeah.
Big day.
Yeah.
I am going to get my physical.
Yes, he is.
After months and months of harassment from this show.
I would love.
Years, I
Love. I,
think.
don't want to call it harassment.
Love, yes. I am going to. And
It's a fine line.
And
Yes.
thanks. You guys did a great job. I knocked the dentist out first. Everything's good in that department. Now I'm going to, hopefully I don't have to have as much work from the doctor as I did the dentist. Holy cow. But yeah, and Chris kind of pushed me over the edge when he went ahead and did his. So if anybody out there's putting it off, just go do it.
Call Chris.
Be in solidarity with me and Chris and go do it. I'm sure I'm about 99% positive. Next Thursday I will come in with another appointment that they would
honestly, dude,
be running a.
No,
I might already have it done by next
You
Thursday.
may already have it done the way they work.
Go ahead and get it out of the way. So yes, big day tomorrow. So I'll keep you guys posted. All right. Chris, you want to tell us about the Waffle House Challenge before we get going?
Yeah, so Nick Harris, I always have to say Nick Harris because we have Nick Eatman around here
Correct.
now. So Nick Harris on the draft
like saying
show.
Joe
And
Trahan.
Yeah.
what?
Well, it's like saying Joe Trahan.
Oh, yeah, you got two Joes.
You got White Joe, Black Joe.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the other one works for Channel 5, right? No,
Channel 8.
Channel 8, I'm sorry. Yeah, so. Anyways, the Waffle House Challenge, if anybody's ever heard of it, is where you go to Waffle House for 24 hours, and for every waffle you eat, it knocks an hour off your time.
So you have to stay in Waffle House for 24 hours to fulfill the obligation.
So, yeah, right off the bat, you're going to be there for 23 hours because you can at least eat one waffle,
Yeah.
right? So subtract your time with waffles,
Yeah.
okay? So Nick said he's not going to run a marathon like Kyle Yeoman did a couple years ago for CeeDee Lamb, but he did say he would go to the Waffle House Challenge for Troy Fatanu, the offensive guard out of Washington.
God.
He's a god. He's the #1 guard on Dane Brugler's board. If this guy falls to us, there's a lot of people maybe do Waffle House challenges. He's ranked number 9 overall of all the draft, all the players this year. So
Wow.
yeah, so we'll see if that.
So
happens.
it's just
See Nick
just
Harris
Nick,
do
huh?
that.
Actually, I think Broadus said he would do it with him.
Well, you got to have somebody to do it with you because you got to have somebody to
monitor.
Yeah, just to hold you accountable,
check.
right?
I mean, you think about this. Like, do it on a day where there's a lot of things in sports. So you can bring a laptop
work.
and
Yeah.
you can work.
I mean, hell, I probably did that in
blog.
college, cramming for a test.
I know,
we had
right?
an all night.
Just
We had a
at the
couple
Waffle
Waffle
House.
Houses in
Yeah.
West Monroe.
You cram for what?
Test. Well, dude, I was the biggest procrastinator. I would
You
wait.
ain't Study. You
Now-
ain't study for no damn.
See, the Waffle House, the Waffle House Challenge.
I'd wait till the night before. We had an all-night diner. We had 2. They wound up opening 2 Waffle Houses, but we had an all-night diner that I would go to and I would sit because I don't study well in a real quiet environment because I get distracted. I have to have like things going on around me where I can just look up and go, okay. And I would go and I'd get in there about 7 o'clock and I'd leave at about 4 in the morning and then go take my test at 8 or 9. So. But yeah, I would study.
But you're not really a breakfast guy.
I didn't eat breakfast, but I would eat all night. I'd graze all night. So yeah. Well, hope that comes to fruition. They have him going at 9, huh? Do you think there's any possibility the Cowboys move up in this draft?
No.
Very slim.
Yeah, you have to give up too much.
Yeah, and they don't have room to give up.
Picks.
Right.
They don't have Remember we gave. What did you get for Trey Lance? A fourth.
Fourth. Yeah.
Four,
So if you trade back,
And with that, yeah.
Since
if you
then,
trade back, you get a fourth
Zach
back.
Wilson
Yeah.
just went for a 6th rounder. It's
Yeah,
just-
yeah. They gave a 4th round for Trey Lance.
Which I think I would rather have Trey Lance than I would Zach Wilson.
his contract runs out the same time as Dak Prescott. How can you find out anything what he's going to be?
practice?
Not a game.
Not a game.
Not a game.
Practice.
How many waffles, Chris? How many waffles do you think you could put down
In 24 hours?
24 hours? Yeah.
I mean, the waffles there are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not small.
I tried to eat a stack of like pancakes one night.
So how many do you think?
Pancakes are terrible.
I bet I could probably 5 maybe
In
In 24 hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your son could eat
do
5 in
that,
24.
yeah.
Yeah, your son could do 5 in.
I don't know, man.
You could do
6
You could do
hours.
5 in 8 hours. Probably, you could do
at least
2 for
10.
breakfast.
Oh, so 10.
You could do 6. You could do
I'll be there for 15 hours.
2 for breakfast, 2 for
Or
lunch,
14
and 2 for
hours.
dinner. That wouldn't be a problem. That would just be like a normal 3 meals. So then you got another. What's the math? If you're there
4.
No, if you're there for 8 hours, you got 24 hours.
See, it's fun. It's fun because you
Say
know,
8 to 8. So let's just say
doing
12
6.
hours. You got another 12 hours. So yeah, you should be able to do. You should be able to do 12.
see, the Waffle House Challenge is known for fantasy football league losers.
Yeah.
You know, Kyle is really bad with bets. He really is. He had run a marathon for CeeDee Lamb,
Which
right?
is actually he wanted them to get him.
Yeah, exactly.
it
And
was
so,
is
yeah.
he bad at bets or is he good at bets?
Well, then he lost his fantasy football league last year and had to take the SAT over again.
That's crazy.
And all his buddies tailgated at the school. Right, they're tailgating in the morning.
You can
for
just
him.
go take
He
the-
had to wear a suit and tie to do it.
Wow. You can just go take the SAT like
To sign up for it.
Yeah, you just sign up for
Really?
it. Yeah,
we had the
They just
ACT.
want your money.
yeah. They want your money.
Yeah.
How did y'all score? Did y'all have to take SAT or ACT?
I did the ACT.
You did?
I did both.
I did ACT. I mean, SAT.
SAT?
Yeah.
How was y'all scores? Good, bad?
Wasn't bad.
I did just enough.
Me too.
I needed an 820 and a 2.5 GPA. I scored an 840 my first time. I swear to
You
God.
were like, I'm done. I took it. I'm done. I'm in.
The only university that told me no was Notre Dame. They were like, yeah, no, we're good. You won't meet our academic criteria. Every other university said, if you got a 2.5 GPA and you score an 820 on the SAT, you can be accepted.
You're in.
Really?
I scored an 840. And they was like, you want to take it again? I said, are y'all idiots? No, I'm done.
I'm in, right? Y'all told me 820.
So this is a girl named Marie Alberg, who was like our senior class, what is it, valedictorian? Yeah. She cussed me out in the gym, in the lunchroom, so bad.
Really?
Because we were all getting our results back the same day. And so everyone was like opening up their results and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And we're discussing them and all this kind of stuff. And I get an 840, right? And I'm like I'm super happy. I'm like,
I go everywhere but Notre Dame.
I can go anywhere in the world but Notre Dame. I'm like, you name it, Miami.
You could go there now, though.
I probably can. I'm like, Michigan. I mean, and she's like, you know what? I'm so sick and tired of you athletes. And I mean, she went on me. She was like, I've taken the SAT 3 times. I've done SAT preps. And she got like, I think she had like a 1270 or something like that. And she was like, I cram and da-da-da-da-da-da. And you get to have this bull score and you get to pick the unit. And I was just like, well, Marie, you should probably shoot a basketball or catch a football or something like that. And she was like so irate at me. And I was just like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's what they said I needed. I got the 840 and I'm good to go.
All right, Kurt, before we get out of here, give me a name.
Shout out to Marie.
Shout out
Give
to
you a name. They are going to trade down and pick up that, what's it, the Jackson Center.
JPJ?
Yeah. Whatever, which is, it's bad. I can't even know the
Jackson
guy.
Power Johnson.
Power Johnson, yeah.
From Oregon.
So you think he's going to slide past?
Oh, he'll be down in that range.
You think he'll be down in that range? Okay. Jesse?
I think they go with the guy from Duke.
Graham Barton.
Graham Barton.
Boy, did that hurt coming out of your mouth.
I didn't even know you could say that word.
Jeez.
I mean, listen,
North Carolina guy's going to get drafted.
Oh, you think so?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Are they?
Maybe in the top.
What do you
maybe
mean?
the top 3.
Top 3 picks, baby. Quarterback you. We quarterback you, baby.
Is he good?
Yeah.
Is he worth? Like, is he gonna?
Yes.
Is he better than 50-50 on?
Yes.
On hitting, you think?
Yes.
Okay.
All about, but again, with these quarterbacks, it's all about what are you putting around them.
Right.
He's not going to go to Washington because they're sick and tired of their North Carolina quarterback.
Did you see the top, over the decade of the teens, the 2011-20, 14 quarterbacks were taken in the top 5. 5 are considered franchise quarterbacks now.
Wow. So
Patrick
30.
Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think they had Kyler Murray. There's just quoting one article. They considered Kyler Murray. It was based on years and second contracts and all this kind of stuff.
So 30% hit as a franchise guy. 25%.
Would that be Joe Burrow there?
Yeah, Burrow.
Joe Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, Murray, Herbert.
Yeah.
That'd be Herbert. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not very good odds.
No. And it's 50-50 whether they're even a starting quarterback, really. You know,
it's like, we got one. Don't want to pay him. Got to see more leaves. Got to see more leaves fall.
Oh man, we could have done a whole show on that.
Falling all around.
Chris, give me a name before we get out of here.
It's probably gonna be Barton if I was to guess.
Okay.
If he's not there, we'll probably trade down, and I would. There's a center out of West Virginia.
Zach
Frazier.
Okay.
Who's really good. I mean, he was like a 4-time West Virginia wrestling champion. That's what you want as a center.
Somebody nasty.
Yeah, the guy knows how to balance and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But does he have the intelligence of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He's good.
All right. Well, tonight is the most exciting day of the year for some fans. I think just Graham Barton.
I think we gracefully BS'd our way through this entire thing today.
We did.
We sold it.
And you could have went to 10 because I don't have a show after you guys.
Now we're good.
I know you're good.
No, we're good. Like today's one of the days that we're on time.
Chris,
we're like 2 minutes over.
Yeah.
We're on
we
time.
can talk about all in. We can talk about Zeke. We can talk about
Michael Parsons.
Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
Zeke. That's it. Zeke's agent and Cowboys met yesterday. Apparently.
Yeah.
The Cowboys
reports
Club.
say.
How would you feel about him coming back? Yeah, exactly. Our fans. I mean, you're paying him how much dead money?
$6 million already,
and then you would have to pay him another $2 a year,
maybe 3.
So, but then it would. I was talking to Nick Eatman last night on the phone. I was like, but then it's not dead money anymore. He's actually on your team, so you're actually getting something out of it. So, like, you should probably
you'd be paying $9 million to a guy who you'll give minimal snaps to.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're in a spot. Like, who's your starting guy right now?
It shouldn't be
Rico.
No.
Is Rico your starter?
Probably on paper.
Yeah.
Unless you draft a guy, right?
Yeah. Would you take that Texas guy in the second round?
Jonathan
coming
Brooks?
off of ACL?
You know what? I'm biased. Not that I have Texas ties, but my really good friend and brother was his running back coach. It's a sharp choice.
It's another.
Does he say he's the dude?
And he says he's the dude.
Another second round injury guy.
You know what?
But don't coaches like their guys?
Of course.
I'm just saying, like,
But
back to
to his like this wasn't a Twitter conversation. This was like he and I talking, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Like he was like, hey, when he tore his ACL, he was telling him he was the one that suggested he go to see Dr. Cooper to get it, get it done. So
Cooper's the man now that the other guy in Alabama retired.
Oh, is he really?
Dr. Andrews?
Yeah, Dr. Andrews retired, so now everybody's going to Cooper pretty much now.
So how much does that play in? Because you say Tashard Choice, he's got a relationship here in the building. You know, how much does that play into Jerry being able to pick up the phone and go, look, be honest with me and tell me about this guy, and then plus the team doctors operated on him.
Yeah, that has to play some sort of a role.
It's got to get equity, right? It's got to be. When you have that kind of inside information, that's got to raise their value a little bit. When you. But
then I'm always scared of guys like you got to have another year past that injury to kind of really
how much impact.
Hey,
Cooper's done some other surgeries around here that hadn't kind of responded.
Yeah.
And
wait a minute, what round did we say he would go here?
Second. That's
and he's been injured in college.
Let's bring him on. Bring him on in.
But here's the thing is, I don't know if he's going to be there when we pick in the second round. So someone's going to take him ahead of us. So
but did that team take him ahead of us have an actual starting running back on their roster?
Probably.
Right? Like that's the thing. Like if it's the team that has a reliable back already there, then you have the time to go, you know what? We can bring this kid along and don't have to rush him into a starting role. I think if he comes here, you're looking for him to kind of be really impactful,
right
away. And I don't think he'll be ready until training camp, right?
Yeah,
at least full go until training camp.
I think
he hurt it in November against TCU.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
August will give you 9 months.
I
I
don't
did
know.
the finger count. I was like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Just look at Pollard last year coming off his injury. Would you say he was the same? Maybe.
he didn't hit his stride until the end of the year.
Seemed like.
Yeah.
But remember, he tore his ACL. No, he broke his leg.
Broke his
Yeah,
leg.
broke his leg.
And
But he had ligament damage in his ankle as well. So.
yeah, and he did that in January, right? So
Yeah, playoffs. All right, fellas. Let's get out of here. Good show.
Where are you watching it
Good
tonight?
seeing you,
Just
Kurt.
home?
I will be.
We'll be
We'll be
right
doing
here.
it. We're doing
Oh,
a
yeah,
deal
I mean,
tonight.
like over here.
Yeah, we're doing a little.
Where do I tune in for
We're
that?
doing a little show. I'll tell you off the air. I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay.
So it's on an
So you can always
X-rated. It's on an X-rated site.
No, it ain't. No, it's not.
OnlyFans is.
only fans.
Busted.
Dude,
Get the feet pics
imagine
on
if you
there.
had an account like that, Jesse.
We'll be.
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Make some
Hey,
money.
there we go. All about the money.
What would you call it?
My page? Welcome to Hollywood.
Hey,
all right.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll be doing a little deal for about the first hour.
I mean, if y'all want to just go and check that, it's Holly with the knee. If y'all just happen to be on OnlyFans. If y'all just happen to be on OnlyFans.
Chris, what time are we projected to pick at 24?
Corey hasn't sent me the list yet, but
9
I would.
something?
Yeah, it's probably like 9:30. And then if we trade out of that, you can see the plaza clear out pretty quickly.
Everybody goes home.
Especially if it's a line or the lineman too. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nothing sexy about the fat boys.
Well, Kurt, good seeing you.
see you
Jesse,
guys.
good stuff. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. What's my man's name? Josh, thanks for keeping us up on all the social channels. Nate, get better. We need you back on the show.
What's up, Jazz?
What's up, Jazz? Thanks for keeping Chris company. We
She's
will
not
be
here
back.
yet.
Oh, next Thursday, same time, same place, talking draft follow up on Hanging with the Boys.
We out. Sorry.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!